Welcome back, my friends, to the fourth installment of my Sally Ragdoll costume making of video series. Today's focus is going to be attaching the top to the skirt, finishing off those edges, and then working on the sleeves. So to start finishing off the edges of the top, I am folding over about 1/8 of an inch, pinning that in place so it doesn't shift, and then doing a basting stitch, making sure not to go through to the other side. And then for the sides and the bottom rim of the top, I'm using my iron just to flatten that out a little bit before I sew everything into place. I'm also connecting the two fabrics on the top together by doing a quick little stitch along the edges, making sure that one fabric overlaps the other. And then this is just me testing out the fit and how things are going to line up on the mannequin. The more I go along, I realize that I'm gonna definitely have to fix the top half situation, if you know what I mean. But all in all, everything seems to be looking good. When you say you feel So I take off the skirt from the mannequin and I fold under about 1 inch or so and finish up that seam just to make it look a little bit neater. I did iron down this fold as well. I had used another basting stitch just to kind of hold everything in place before I attach the two pieces together. And then I continue ironing the bottom portion of the top. And I don't have this on camera, but I just carefully stitched together the top to the bottom. And you can see in this video that the fold is kind of flipped up, but I fixed that later. And then I added on the zipper to the best of my ability. I suck at zippers, but I made it work. Whenever I'm making a costume, especially if it is a little bit more fitting, I like to try on a lot, just to make sure everything's going to plan. And then I check my reference photo to see which colored sleeve went on which side of the dress. So the teal went with the yellow and the orangey went with the pink. I definitely wanted to put my own little touch for the sleeves, but I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to incorporate them. So the best way for me to visualize and kind of make up a game plan is to just attach things, kind of see visually how it's going to look, maybe try it on, so that's what I did. Normally when you're doing a draped sleeve, you're going to want a sort of boning that comes up the back so that you attach your sleeve high so that you're able to have very good arm movement. But I didn't design the dress that way, so I just carried on with how I wanted it to be, making it a little bit extra droopy just in case I wanted a little extra movement. And here's me trying the sleeve on to see kind of how it lays and everything, and I was getting satisfied with it. It was still too long, so it's kind of a little bit awkward, but I liked the idea of it because it made it look a little bit more romantic and more ethereal. And then I just took my scissors and chopped the length of the sleeves that I wanted. I definitely wanted the material to flow and be able to kind of move around with the wind and everything as well. And then I repinned everything together and did a little final check. And I would say at this point, this is where I thought that the dress was really coming together. So I was super duper happy. Artemis likes to inspect the dress with me as well. And here's one final try on before I start weathering everything. So I took the orange sleeve first off the mannequin, laid it down on a table. On the bottom of each sleeve, I wanted it to look super weathered and old, kind of inspired by the Corpse Bride dress, by Emily's dress. So my personal way of doing things is that I like to draw out the design first, then cut it with some itty bitty scissors. And then I used a fray preventing glue basically and applied a thin amount around each edge. Obviously make sure you protect your table or whatever surface you're doing this on. I just used a scrap piece of plastic and I made sure to lift off the material so that it wouldn't actually like glue to the table or anything. And on this night, I had a little support system going. She also just wanted to play with the material really, really bad, so. And then I repeated the entire process on the green sleeve as well. And on the edges that would go up and actually attach to the dress, I just made sure to gradually ease up on the design so that it flowed really well into the dress and everything. And you'll see that better a little bit later once the sleeves are actually attached to the dress and everything. And here's the end of making the sleeves. I didn't attach them quite yet because I wanted to weather them first, and that will be in the next video, all about weathering. See you guys in the next one. Stay spooky.